Hey, welcome back. Today we'll be doing a press-on nail order with me, so let's get started. The first step is to buff the surface of the nail and make sure to take all of the shine off. We can continue with applying the base coat on the nails, making sure that it's a thin coat only to cover the surface of the nail completely. We can start now with the base colors, and I'm going to start with the right hand first. The color palette for this design is going to be red, white, and silver, and my client told me that she was going to use these nails for a BTS concert. We just took some pictures from some of the designs and just put them together so we can create the full set like she wanted. Now that we have the base colors, we are going to start with the nail art. And for that, I'm going to put some matte top coat on the thumbnail, index finger, and the ring finger also. We are going to be doing a ombre effect on the thumbnail, and for this I like to use the little sponges that I got from Amazon. And what I do is just that I wet the sponge with some water and I take off a little bit of the sticky layer with some tape, so then I can get the ombre effect to look a little bit smoother. For the index finger, we're going to be doing the exact same thing that we did on the thumbnail, but instead of doing it on the top corner of the nail, I'm going to be doing on the middle of the nail. I just want to add that to make my ombre look good, I have to do like 2 or 3 coats like this, so it can really get like as opaque as I want it to be. For this nail, I'm going to be using my Melody Susie Blooming Gel, and I'm going to apply the thin coat, making sure that it covers the whole nail. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some lines with my liner brush and some white gel polish. My client didn't know what she wanted on this nail, so she told me to freestyle, and I did some thinking about what I wanted to do, and I ended up having this image or of something like that on my head, and I really did think that it will match the whole thing. I ended up loving how the nail looked like, so I'm happy I did that. Now for this nail, I'm just going to keep it simple and do a wide French on the nail. Going back into the thumbnail, I'm going to be using some silver gel and my liner brush to do some lines on top of this nail. For this one, I'm going to be doing a white outline on the nail. This usually takes me a lot of time, so I'm going to speed up this clip so you guys don't get bored of me doing the same thing for a long time. With the red gel polish, now we are going to draw a 7 on the middle of the nail. I'm going to speed up this clip too because it did really took me a lot of time. Again, I just wanted it to be perfect. I'm going to be using my silver gel polish to do some stars on this nail. I know you can't really see it on camera, but it does look good on person. Now for this nail, I'm going to start by buffing off the surface of the nail just to make sure that I don't have any sticky parts on the nail so the chrome doesn't stick to where I don't want it to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing some lines and doing the design that goes on this nail. I'm going to speed this part up a little bit just because it took me a lot of time, but I don't want to cut you guys off of seeing what I'm doing. But it did took me a lot of time. I wanted to be perfect, and it was a little bit difficult to me to keep the nail on the camera and also seeing what I was doing because it was like just a tiny nail, so I had to be very up close. Now I'm just going to be using my silver chrome powder on top of the nail. Last but not least, I'm going to do a little star on the corner of the nail for the pinky. I know that you guys can see that I have one already done at the top, but my camera wasn't recording and I didn't know until I finished doing the star. So I'm just gonna let you guys see how I do that. Now we're going to move on into the left hand, and I'm going to start doing some lines with my silver polish on the thumbnail. For the index finger, as you guys can see, I already made some progress, and that's because again my camera stopped working and I didn't notice until I was finished doing the red circles. But now that I have that done, I'm just going to be doing some little designs on top of the circles that I just made with the white polish. Now that we have the little lines ready, I'm going with my silver gel polish and I'm just going to be doing some stars. Now we are moving on into the middle finger and we're gonna start with doing a white French. Now using the same silver polish, I'm going to do 2 little stars on the nail. For the ring finger, I'm going to start with applying my matte top coat on all of the nail, making sure that I cover the whole surface. And then I'm going to do a little kiss on this corner of the nail. I'm going to be using some white gel mixed with top coat, and then I'm going to add my silver chrome on top of that. Now for the pinky nail, I'm going to do a red French. Now using the same silver polish, I'm going to do a little star on the middle. Now that we have finished doing the nail art, the last thing that we have to do is apply the rhinestones and top coat. And for that, I'm going to be using Mama Cart rhinestone glue, and I'm going to put some of that where I want my rhinestones to be, and then on top of that, I'm going to apply my top coat, and then I'm going to be putting my rhinestones. I find that doing it this way, the rhinestones adhere better to the nail and they don't come off, so I really like doing it this way. I don't know if it works for somebody else. Now for this pinky finger and the ring finger on the left hand, I'm going to be using some little caviar beads chain. So I'm gonna let you guys see how I do that. This is how the nails ended up looking like. I really like how they look. My favorite, of course, is this one right here. I really like it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.